Welcome to Miami.
Yes, people, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Stop Lounge. This is episode number 35, and we are your hosts, Jan and Malcolm. How are you, bro?
I'm alright, bro. Thank you very much. Had a just pretty long weekend as
Yep.
from last week because last week it was I worked
Thursday.
Wednesday. Wednesday was the last day I worked. Thursday was the 1st of May, which is Workers' Day here in Malta.
It's a bank
And of
holiday.
course, I took 2nd of May leave, vacation leave. There was Saturday and Sunday. Along with Formula One, I went out eat with my family. We went for dinner. I went out for a couple walks, a drive with my car. It was beaming with sun, bro. It's already steaming hot out here.
Yeah, it's
The
May
temperature,
already, man.
the temperature right now is 21. The temperature right now is 21 degrees. During the day, it's about 25, 26, if not more. It might feel
I
more.
believe,
I don't know,
I believe
but
it
it's
was more.
piping hot, and we just started May, bro. And we just started May out here.
It's
It's
concerning,
crazy.
man.
I don't want to
Yeah.
know. I don't want to know how it's going to be in July, August. I don't want to know. But
I
other
mean,
than that, yeah,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
be like, I'm gonna spend half my summer outside of Malta, pretty much. So that's not gonna really
You are
concern me that
lucky,
much.
bro.
So
You
I
are
can count
lucky.
my lucky stars for that one. Yeah.
You are lucky, bro.
No, with regards to myself, 50-50 to be honest. Pretty long weekend as well because Thursday was a public holiday here in Malta, where it was Workers' Day, and unfortunately during the weekend, I strained my left calf during my daily run. So at least now it's looking much better compared to last Sunday. So at least doesn't look like a very serious injury. Other than that, pretty relaxing weekend. Spent it mostly in solitude, to be honest. Most of my friends were not available for it to hang out a little bit, but other than that, it was a pretty relaxing weekend. We started yet another week, and we have a lot to talk about today, bro. Miami.
Listen, from the past 2 weeks or so that we had nothing to report on,
Yeah,
the Formula One gods were like, nope, we're going to feed you with all the
yeah,
content possible.
all out.
With liveries, news off the track, and even the races themselves, both the sprint and the race.
And we've had a pretty recent weekend, guys. So yes, strap yourselves in, guys. This could be a pretty meaty episode what we have here
Pause.
today. But before we begin, if this is your first time listening to this podcast, this is a podcast about Formula One. What we talk about news of the track, what happens during Grand Prix weekends, and also outside of the track, also of track news. So we talk all things related to Formula One. And if this is your first time listening to this channel, make sure to hit us with a like, follow, share, and subscribe on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You know the buzz by this point. And to our Spotify listeners, make sure to help us with a rating and let us know your thoughts on the comment section down below. When with each pause we publish with every single episode, guys, we publish daily polls with every episode that we launch on Spotify. Make sure to give us our thoughts between what you prefer, if it's the first or second option. We would like to hear your thoughts on those. And with that, bro, let's begin today's episode. We have, of course, Miami Grand Prix talk. We have Miami to talk about,
Welcome to Miami.
and
Bienvenido a
yeah,
Miami.
Alexa play Miami by Will
I
Smith.
love that song,
Literally,
bro. I love that song, bro.
same
I
here,
love that song.
same
Shout out
here.
Will Smith, bro. Love
Yeah,
that song.
same here. But before we get to the Grand Prix, bro, we're gonna start with two tracks that have been extended for multiple years. One which is Miami, coincidentally. The first actually is Mexico. It's been extended to 2028, and the second we've just mentioned Miami to 2041. I wonder why, bro. I wonder
Wow.
why.
Wow. We thought contact extensions or when Chelsea sign players in football that they give ridiculous contracts. We thought that was ridiculous.
What's
We think
this then?
that's ridiculous. There's no adjective for it, bro. Listen, now get on to Mexico. Let's start off with Mexico first to 2028.
Yeah,
Very happy with that. Very, very happy. And Tonale, no, is it something like that? I don't know what's it called,
it's a
but
very,
it's Mexico.
very long game.
Super long. But anyways, it's a nice track. That long start finish straight, love it, bro. You have to really show the cars top speed with that, and even the back straight as well. It is a fun track. It is a very fun track, and I'm very happy that it's gonna stay on the calendar
Calendar.
for at least 3 more years. Meanwhile, Miami, it is gonna stay on the calendar as well, but till 2040
What?
freaking one. 16 more years, bro. What was the first race we had in Miami? 2022, when Charles
I
Leclerc
believe
took
so.
pole.
I
2022.
believe so. Yeah.
It was all right. 3 years in, it already gets an extension, but for 16 years, they are so certain. They are so certain with this track that it's gonna provide that. And listen, to be fair, it does provide entertainment. For example, 2022, the inaugural race, the battles between Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen. 2023 was a slugfest. Verstappen and Red Bull dominated that
Yeah.
race.
Last
2024,
year,
oh,
Lando,
Lando
Lando,
Norris won his
Lando, his
first
first
race,
win, his first
his first
race.
ever win, which, and now this race which we're going to get into is no exception. So it does provide entertainment as much as we dislike it, but still, I believe 16 years, it says a lot on about where the sport's head is at.
No, listen. I think obviously Formula One has become very very popular over the last couple of years, specifically in the US. And
Thanks to
I
Drive
think,
to
bro, and
Survive.
also, bro, it's not just Drive to Survive, but also just the American sponsorships who are responsible for the entire sport.
They're all
It's played a massive massive part in this for sure. I
very.
I I I am certain for that.
We're getting a Miami contract extension for 16 years before GTA 6. That is
Yeah,
wild, bro. That
crazy.
is wild.
And bro, speaking of Miami, I actually agree. It's a nice track. It's a very difficult track though. At the same time, bro,
Very,
there's
very
a, there's
difficult.
there's a there's a lot of corners that you need to that drivers need to be very very cautious with. There, what do you think?
Absolutely. Listen, just like we've seen last weekend and race weekends prior. For example, there's that chicane, that left-right hander chicane before you get
Yeah.
onto the back straight. That is quite difficult. That is quite difficult. And even the corner where right after sector one, where you
Mm.
need to go like this and then a left bend there onto the straight for the DRS zone. That is difficult. That is very difficult. At least
Yeah,
I see it that way. It is a technical track, and we've had our good fare of racing, thankfully, there. But
for
for
sure.
16 years, it's ridiculous. But listen, it has provided so far. We can't really
Yeah,
complain, but we'll have to wait and see.
yeah, for sure.
More trips to Miami it is for 16 years. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna stay in the calendar for a very long time. And with that, let's head straight into the weekend now, bro. We do have a couple of teams and also drivers that revealed some one-off liveries with their helmets and with their cars, specifically Lando Norris and even Leclerc, being such drivers that revealed some really special and even shiny helmets to begin with.
Yeah, that
Um,
looks like a with the disco ball themed
Yeah, with
helmet.
the
Yeah,
disco
we
ball,
look.
with the disco ball thing, yeah. But there were also three teams that revealed one-off liveries. Those teams were Sauber, Ferrari, and Racing Bulls. I think it's best to start with Racing Bulls and Sauber before we head into Ferrari. What do you think?
I was gonna say to you, I have no idea about Sauber, bro.
There hasn't there hasn't been
I didn't really know this. I don't know if it was me, but I didn't know this.
no. They
Maybe I just
basically
my eyes, bro. I don't know.
no, bro. The only difference there really is with the Sauber is just a splash of paint. Quite literally, it's
All right. I mean, because I didn't
like a
notice it. I
splash
didn't
of
see
paint with it.
nothing. I'm
You
gonna be
can look
honest.
at
I didn't see a damn thing.
you can look it up if you want to, but yeah, with the Sauber there really isn't much. There isn't much of a difference with the livery. However, bro, the same can't be said for Racing Bulls.
Absolutely,
It's
yeah.
basic, but it's
So
a
basic,
shiny livery.
so basic, so beautiful, and it matches the Miami vibe with the pink all over the livery and with the white.
Yeah.
Pardon me, with the white strips. Absolutely brilliant. It's so simplistic yet so beautiful. Ferrari, though.
No, no,
If
but
we're
actually, bro, bro, before we get into Ferrari,
all
because
right.
we have some nasty things to say about Ferrari, but no, to give you my thoughts on the Racing Bulls livery, I really like it. I think, listen, I think no surprise that they've delivered with this livery because its team are no strangers with breathtaking liveries,
Bro, they
and
didn't
this for
release one bad livery
no,
so
no,
far.
for me they're all bangers, bro. I think they have yet to release an underwhelming livery. And this for me, it just resembles Miami, bro. For me, that with the pink and
Absolutely.
the pink and the white, you've got a bit of you've got a bit of a shade of GTA Vice City as well with
Absolutely.
those liveries as well. It really reminded me of
Absolutely, bro.
that.
Absolutely, bro.
On the other hand, though, Ferrari. Now,
Listen,
bro, last year we said because after what they did last year, we said surely they were gonna learn from their mistakes with delivery. Surely they were gonna learn from their mistakes. They've only gone and done it again. Not only that, bro, it's worse than last year, in my opinion. It's hideous.
I need to take a sip of water first. Give me a
It looks
second.
absolutely hideous, bro, for me
Let me
because
take a sip of water.
my god, man, that livery is just
Let's
not
start off
it.
with let's start off with the race suits. The race suits look nice. They look amazing. The race
Those are actually better than last season.
with the white and blue, they look very nice. Surely, at least make the suits the same livery as the car. No, listen. The HP sponsor is one of the worst things to ever happen to this Ferrari Formula One
Yeah,
team.
I agree.
One of the worst things to ever happen. One of the worst things. Whoever got that deal over the line, bro, needs to be crucified.
He used to be sacked in the morning, first thing tomorrow.
He needs to be crucified. I don't care if the money is there. He's the worst. That HP sponsor is the worst thing that has ever happened to the team. Now, last year's was horrendous. This year's, the only change they made to the livery is on the engine cover
That's it.
and painting the rim covers white. That's
Why
all
do
they did.
why did they go for an all-out blue, bro? Because like, I can understand Ferrari sticking to their traditional red colors, but for me, they should have gone with the same colors as the racing suits, bro.
Why
Simple
not?
as that.
Why not? Why this agenda that they want to leave the red there always? Why? What is the agenda, bro? Because they're Italian.
It's a one-off.
Because the red is sacred or something. What
It's
is
a
this,
one-off. It's a one-off, bro.
bro? I swear to God. And you know what's the funny thing about it? The funny thing about it is that was the beginning. That was just the beginning of the weekend.
Yeah,
Because the worst is
yeah, it
still yet to
was.
come, which we're gonna get into. Which we're gonna get into. That's just the beginning.
And I think
I forgot about delivery because delivery is awful. Like, who are the designers? We need the Racing Bull designers. We need those type of people,
you ain't
not
getting
these
those
fools that are
though.
there. No,
You
we
ain't
ain't
getting
getting them.
those though.
We're
You ain't
getting
getting
designer.
those.
We're getting designers of Temu, the ones that got what is it? Hats,
Yeah,
caps
the hats. Yeah, the caps for
with the
sure.
Ferrari logo, where the horse's head is cut off. Those are the type of designers that we got,
I
bro.
just don't. I just. I'm speechless, bro. Honestly, I just can't explain.
And that's the worst.
I just can't understand why have they gone with the same livery from last season for the Miami. For me, they should have gone with an all-out blue. Just do it as a one-off.
At least
It's definitely
what
gonna
is it?
stand out
What,
for sure.
what is it? What is it with this red sacred, so sacred, bro? What is it about it? Like, yes, the red resembles the Ferrari, but you know what? I'm gonna save my energy because there's still a lot to talk about.
The worst is yet to come for your team,
And
bro, this week.
exactly, the worst is yet to come.
And listen, for all the Ferrari fans listening to us, we are going to cook. We're going to cook Ferrari this episode, bro.
And
We're gonna cook them.
I'm a Ferrari
Yeah,
fan myself.
we're going to cook Ferrari for this episode, guys, because as Malcolm said, this was the start of their weekend. I mean, I can't even
This
put it.
was
I
just the
can't even put.
start,
This
bro.
was just the appetizer, bro. So we're just
It
scratching
was
the
just the
surface
start.
here. We're just scratching the surface here. So yeah,
Just continue.
that's the one-off liveries. Racing Bulls one of the best of the season. Ferrari the worst of the season, easily.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Right now, at least.
Worse than the
Un-
Bentley's, bro.
unless some other team is going to eclipse what they did at the end of the season, it's the worst, bro. With winning
Listen,
for sure.
listen. If any team, yeah, if there's any team that can top that livery as the worst, they need to check themselves. They need to check themselves because it's gonna take some doing to top that livery to become the worst. It's gonna take some work.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right,
Let's just
bro.
continue.
Let's get into the main rundown of the Miami Grand Prix. We obviously have a sprint race to talk about, bro, because Miami has a sprint race. But before we get into that, we're gonna start with sprint qualifying. As per usual, We're gonna start with the drivers who got knocked out of Q1, and we're gonna work our way into who got pole position. In Q1, again, too many surprises. There was actually some. There were actually a few surprises. Oliver Behrman, not his weekend, unfortunately. Again, similar to Ferrari, that was the start of a pretty underwhelming weekend for him in the Haas, dead last in the sprint.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Gabriel Bortetto at 19 with the Sauber. Not too many surprises there, considering the car he's driving at the moment. Yuki Tsunoda, bro,
Now
18th.
listen, Yuki Tsunoda, yeah, that was a banquet lap. With what happened with Yuki Tsunoda, he was gonna start his second flying lap, or was it his third? I don't know. But he didn't get over the line quickly
Just
enough
in
to
time.
start, just in time.
So
That's what
that
happened with
was
Yuki.
that was a scenario for him. That was just a driver error for him,
Actually,
100%.
that was a team error because they didn't release him earlier.
The team error as well. So yeah, not looking. That wasn't too
Because listen,
bright there for.
the same happened with Jack Doohan in 17th, bro. He was complaining on the radio because they released him way too early. They released him way too
Yeah,
early in regards to Jack Doohan.
yeah, for
And
sure.
then, of course, we have. And unfortunately, he got knocked out in P17 in Q1, Jack Doohan. And then, of course, we have P16. We have the homie
Lance
Lance
Stroll.
Stroll.
And Lance was actually was actually gonna make him was actually gonna make it into Q2, but Ajar got a quicker lap time, and he
Yes,
got
and
that was enough to knock Lance Stroll out of Q1. Now, bro, before we get into Lance Stroll, there are rumors that obviously not official yet, so take this with a pinch of salt, but there are some rumors going on that Jack Doohan could be replaced by Franco Apinto come Imola next for the next 2 weeks. That for me, yes, he's had a poor start to the season, and his top start life as a rookie continued there with the sprint qualifying. But that's harsh, bro.
is it
That's
because
really
he's
harsh.
is it because he was complaining on the radio, bro? Don't tell me it's that.
It's ridiculous, bro.
Don't
It's
don't don't tell
ridiculous.
me don't tell me it's that. Don't tell me it's that. Don't you dare tell
It's
me or
ridiculous.
anyone, because that would be stupid for Jack Doohan. Like, okay, it happened with Liam Lawson, but to release Jack Doohan after 6 races, nah, nah. And Alpine ain't the quickest of them all. It's below in the midfield, with all due
It's one
respect.
of the slowest cars on the grid. It's one of the
Yeah,
slowest cars on the grid. It's one of the slowest
ab-
cars.
absolutely. So listen, nah. I think it would be harsh. I think it's just rumors. It can happen because I believe, and even if so, no, notice that should have been way
For
faster
sure.
than what
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah, for sure.
it's just a rumor. We'll see what happens. I won't be surprised if it happens though.
Yeah. Lance Stroll, bro, Villeneuve going on fleek with that, right? And again, I mean, ever since you've revealed that Villeneuve Q1 exits left, right, and center, not just with the sprint
Q1 exits, bro.
qualifying, but also with just qualifying in general, bro. It ain't going well,
Absolutely.
bro.
Nah, nah. One of my worst ever predictions that I've ever made.
This has got to be the
But
worst, bro, I think.
at least it's on Lance Stroll. So I take it. So I'll take that, bro. At least it's on Lance Stroll. It could be worse.
Yeah.
So
For sure, for sure. In Q2 again, pretty standard procedures. We did have a DNF from Carlos Sainz in 15th with the Williams in the second part of sprint qualifying. So
that was
he
unfortunate.
had to start the sprint race in 15th. Very unfortunate from him. Liam Lawson 14th with the Racing Bulls. Pierre Gasly in 13th. Esteban Ocon in 12th. And
Nico
Nico
Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg in 11 with the Sauber. That's a pretty impressive lap time.
That
Again,
is
um, ain't no stranger with Nico during qualifying as well, so ain't no much of a surprise. But with the Sauber, pretty impressive, bro. In 11th place.
absolutely impressive. Listen, Nico Hulkenberg is still a driver that is chasing his first podium, let alone his first win.
Yeah,
Nico Hulkenberg to get 11th in sprint quali with that tractor of a car, impressive, bro.
very
Very
impressive.
impressive. Very.
And I think also impressive, bro, Fernando Alonso in 10th. Now, Alonso has had a really tough start to the season, and unfortunately this weekend continued
I think
that
it's
tough start.
worst
But I
start.
think if there's one thing I think it is his worst start, yeah. But I think if there's one thing to take away from this week, I think he did secure a decent lap time in 10th place in the sprint qualifying, and at least he got himself into Q3 with the Aston Martin.
And that's the first Q3 appearance, bro, this season.
Yeah,
For
for him.
Aston
And
Martin and for Alonso.
I believe, yeah, for Aston Martin, I believe so. I think Dan Stroll hasn't made himself. I think he hasn't got himself into Q3. if I'm
I
not
don't think so. I
mistaken.
don't think so.
But with Alonso, yeah, P10 is a pretty impressive lap time. Isaac Hajar in ninth again with the Racing Bulls, another impressive lap time. And
Very.
even more impressive, bro, is Alex Albon in eighth with the Williams. His consistent start
That
keeps
was
on
just a
keeps on
start.
growing, and that was
That
again
was
just
just
the
the start
start
of a
for
great weekend.
Ferrari. Hamilton in seventh and Leclerc in sixth.
I'm gonna be honest. Better than I expected in sprint quali. Better than I expected. I expected even worse.
Could be worse.
I expected worse. It could have been way worse. Could have been way worse. And the worst was still yet to come. That was nothing. The worst was still yet to come. So, and even we want to do this weekend with no upgrades. So that's why I wasn't expecting absolutely nothing from the team. But P7, P6, I'll take that. I'll take that. Very happy.
Yeah, not
I'm
the
not very
worst
happy,
result
but
considering.
it's a situation.
Neither Ferrari
Yeah,
fans going to be happy with those lap times, bro, with those positions. So
absolutely.
don't blame you for that.
Absolutely.
George Russell in fifth with the Mercedes, followed by Max Verstappen in fourth. For Verstappen, a bit underwhelming, bro. I think you would have expected himself to get into at least in the top three places rather
You
than a
know what?
fourth place.
You know what? Listen, speaking of Max Verstappen, he became a father on the weekend, bro. So I don't want to go
Yo,
too hard.
whoa! Actually, forgot about that. Yeah,
I don't want to go too hard on him,
yeah.
man.
Max welcomed the baby alongside alongside Kelly Piquet, his partner.
What did they name the
Welcomed
baby? What did they name the baby?
Lily. They welcomed a
Lily.
baby girl named Lily. The Maltese saying, yeah, with that. That's illegal, eh, Malta?
It
That's
is very
illegal.
illegal.
That's very illegal in Malta, apparently.
If you say
Way.
if you say "Ow Lily" here in Malta, you probably get what is it, a 1,500 euro fine? Is it
I believe so, yeah.
something like that? And maybe you could get a jail sentence as
A
well.
J sentence as well. That's
That's
actually
crazy.
nuts.
That's
That's
wild.
actually nuts. But at least also, bro, at least everyone is relieved that another Verstappen is not gonna dominate the Formula One scene in the years to come, at the very least.
Listen, there could be a time where women might get into the sport.
It could be a possibility, yeah. It
Lily
could be a
Verstappen. Listen,
possibility.
Lily Verstappen,
Yeah.
multiple Formula One world champion. It can happen, bro.
Listen, it's happening in Formula E if you don't know this as well. So it might also happen in Formula One in the future. Who knows yet? But
We don't know. We'll see. But
no,
massive congratulations to Max
yeah.
Verstappen.
Congrats, obviously, on behalf of this podcast, massive congratulations to Max and Kelly for welcoming their new baby girl, and we wish them all the best for their future as well. And it looks like, bro, I think Max this weekend, I think that was more of his focus rather than his results. But speaking of the results, bro, well, when we get to we're gonna get to qualifying soon, because in qualifying he put in a mega lap in qualifying, also in the race, but.
We're gonna get to
Um,
that. We're gonna
we're
get to
gonna get
that.
into that soon. So yeah, fourth place, a little bit underwhelming for him, but considering that he had his milestone, his milestone of the racing scene, I'm not gonna be a bit too harsh on that. Same with George Russell. I think now with George Russell, bro, he actually was in the pit, and he thought he was gonna get a lap time quick enough to get himself into pole position for the sprint, but he got outclassed by both the McLarens and his teammate, and also Max Verstappen himself. So I think that was a both of an error from him and his team as well, to leave him in the pits for the last couple of laps. So that put him himself into fifth. The top three, two McLarens, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri in second, and Kimi Antonelli in pole
Antonelli,
position
bro.
by just 0.045 seconds, bro. What a talent this driver is. 18 years of age,
Absolutely.
his first ever season in Formula One. He's driving for Mercedes, and he goes on to do he goes on to take pole position in a sprint pole in a complicated track like Miami, because Miami is not an easy track. It's such a hard.
It's not an easy track.
I
It's
think
the
it's the
first
toughest. I
one.
think it's the toughest track. I think it's the toughest track in the calendar. I'm not sure, but it's definitely one of the toughest of the calendar.
Debatable. It's one of the toughest, but is it the toughest? Debatable. But apart from that, it's the first time he ever drove on the track, and
Yeah,
moreover, he became the youngest pole sitter ever in Formula One.
18.
18 years of age. Chapeau, Antonelli.
No.
Absolutely brilliant, bro.
Listen,
Absolutely.
now I can see. Listen, now I can see why Toto was crazy on this kid, because he's talented, man. And to go
Absolutely.
and to go and to only go and make a lap time that quick and to eclipse obviously the McLaren, which are obviously the quickest cars on the grid at the moment.
Impressive.
I couldn't complain on that, bro. That was an impressive. That was a
That
very
was bang
very
on.
impressive lap time from Kimi.
That was
And
a
so
bang on.
so it's a sprint pole position for the two McLarens. It's just unlucky, bro. I think that was we were just simply outperformed by just a piece of individual brilliance from Antonelli. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna complain much. Second and third are still fantastic lap times, fantastic positions to start the sprint race. And with
absolutely.
that, bro, we'll get into the sprint race. Now the sprint race was eventful and chaotic right from the start, bro, because
Absolutely.
it was raining and obviously that provided chaos straight away, bro. Because every time we have rain in Formula One, chaos ensues. And for me, bro, listen. Before we actually get into the race, why on earth do we keep on delaying? We keep on the races significantly when there's like a drop of rain happening in the circuit. I just don't know why.
It's because the tires are not significant enough. The
But
tires are
but
not significant enough.
there have been worse conditions, bro. I think rather I think after this one.
Look. I mentioned this to you on Saturday, I believe. I mentioned this to you on Saturday. We were talking about it. Now, it was raining, it was pouring with rain, and every single time there is rain, just like you said, it's called off. Now, look, I get it. I get it. I absolutely get it. It's due to safety reasons, it's because due to the driver safeties. That's all well and good. But listen, why is there intermediates and wet tire choices, and they're rarely ever utilized? Like rarely ever utilized.
No, I understand the safety, bro. I
Like, all right,
completely
like,
understand the
okay,
safety.
they raise about tens of thousands of liters of water up the air, but there needs to be a way where they need to make the tires reduce the spray of the tires, the spray
Yeah.
that comes out of the tires, and to increase the visibility somehow, because it can't be this way. If it's torrential rain, understandable, totally understandable.
No, I understand the driver's safety
But
completely, but
man,
we just can't keep on delaying the races significantly because of when there's rain every single time. This has been
and
happening
even when the
every
safety car,
season.
they were saying, okay, maybe visibility was poor, you couldn't see, granted, but it wasn't raining. It wasn't raining.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I
And
genuinely
actually, bro, before the chaos started before the race, because your boy Leclerc hit the wall on the practice lap, like literally before he made himself
I don't know.
into the procedures.
I don't know why they sent him out on inters, bro, in those conditions.
That's
That's
on the
one.
team, bro.
That's again. That is the second mistake of the weekend. First it was delivery. The second it was that decision. And the worst is
Why
you come
intermediates? Why intermediates, bro?
because they're dickheads, bro. Because
You
they're
have to go on
stupid.
the west with that second. The rain was torrential during that time.
And why did they bring? Why did they put him out if it was torrential rain? If it was raining like crazy, why did they put him out? Why he was sacrificed? That was absurd.
I just can't understand. And the race, bro,
At least it was a sprint.
at least it was a sprint race, yeah. But with the sprint race, bro, it started behind the first step started behind safety car, but then the race was quickly red flagged because of the visibility, and
Yes.
we had like a 30-minute delay until the track cleared up, and the race restarted like around 30 minutes, I believe, after the scheduled starting time. Correct me if I'm wrong, bro.
Something like that. Something like
I
that.
think 30 minutes behind, 30 minutes after the scheduled starting time. Now, the race restarted on lap 3, and bro, there was already some controversy, you would say, from most people that's online between Antonelli and Piastri, bro. Did you think Piastri pushed Antonelli off the track, or
Yeah.
was just simply
Nope. 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 That was simply racing, bro.
that was
That
simply
is the
racing?
same
Yeah.
identical. That was simply racing. That was the same identical incident, if you want to call it, between Verstappen and Piastri in Jeddah. That was Piastri's corner again.
Yeah, for sure.
No,
I think it would have been a harsh penalty. I think, in my opinion,
I think that was more a lack of experience from Antonelli, bro.
it
That
could
is
be
more
as well.
that is more lack of experience for Antonelli because you know he's gonna come in the inside. Pause. Antonelli should have gave him the space and then go back around and not compromise his racing line
Yeah, for
because he
sure.
compromised his racing line, he lost many positions and he was out of the running already, just in the first lap.
And that pushed himself way behind in fourth place as well, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah, after that, bro, we did see a couple of overtakes in the middle portion of the grid, but the race really took off into really burst into life from lap 12 onwards, bro. The track
Yeah,
was drying up, and the teams, I mean, every single team, every single driver had to force themselves to make a pit stop. Now,
yeah,
on
that
lap
was a great shake-up.
yeah, Hamilton started all this, bro, changing from the intermediates to the soft compound tires. And bro, on lap 13, Verstappen and Antonelli
Absolutely.
collided together for an unsafe reason. Now, obviously, that was Verstappen's fault.
Uh,
That was
no,
more
that
like
was the team's
Verstappen's
fault.
fault. That was the team's fault
That
completely,
was
bro.
the
That was
team's
a
fault.
completely unsafe release.
That was because that was an unsafe release. That could never be Verstappen's fault because once you see that stick go up, the driver can go. If
Yeah,
there's another driver coming, the what you call it, it needs to stay there, allow the other driver to go into the pit lane, and then he can go. So once Verstappen saw that,
yeah,
he
for
he got
sure.
he got the okay, he got the go ahead to go. They didn't see Antonelli. That's not Verstappen's fault, bro. That's the team's
No,
fault.
no, for sure. I mean, Verstappen got. I mean, Max was very pissed with his team, and rightly so, because then he ended up getting a 10-second time penalty, because obviously then the driver's gonna get the blame, and not the team itself, and that compromised his entire race. Because what happened then was
Absolutely.
we were like the last team to get both drivers into the pits. We got Piastri first into the pits, and then it was Lando. But then until when Lando made his pit stop, Sainz hit the wall, and also Alonso collided into the wall. The race that happened around lap 15 or lap 16, and the race ended behind safety car. So
Yeah,
Lando could count himself very lucky with that, and
absolutely.
also Hamilton, bro, because Hamilton was
Very
working himself also way up into the grid. But I think the luckiest driver here, it has to be Lando, because
absolutely.
if that didn't happen, Oscar could have easily won the race, bro, in my
Yeah,
opinion, and
both
not
Oscar
Lando.
and
He looked
listen,
the quickest of the driver.
at least with Lewis Hamilton, the best thing about Ferrari this year is the pit stops. That's the best thing. I didn't see one fault with the pit stop so far this year, at least.
Yeah,
And with Lewis Hamilton, he kick-started the whole pit stop extravaganza going into for the softs, and thanks to that, he got another podium in the sprint. That's the second sprint, and he got a podium, a win and a podium. Thankfully,
yeah,
at
and
least
that strategy paid off.
I was very happy with that, bro. Thank God. And yes, Norris can count himself very lucky, but listen, a win is a win. I don't rate sprint wins. I don't rate them, but at least it is a win regardless. And Lewis Hamilton got a P3. Another podium. We'll take that.
It's a couple of points.
And
It's a
also,
couple of points in the bag as well.
thanks to the whole kerfuffle, you got drivers like Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda coming in fifth and sixth.
Yeah, because of the penalties, of course.
Absolutely. So listen, a lucky lap.
Now, yeah, and obviously, bro, and before we get into the actual results, bro, Hamilton got past Verstappen quite easily. Obviously, Verstappen had front wing damage, so that was obviously one of the reasons
Yeah,
why Hamilton got past Verstappen quite easily. But I think, bro, it's a mix of luck, obviously, but I think also with my team specifically, we got the pit stops absolutely perfectly, and even not just because Hamilton got his pit stop perfectly, but I think with McLaren even more so, because we were like the last team to get both drivers into the pits. Now, my my first my first thought was we do a double stack pit stop, but that was not a good idea, because obviously that would obviously compromise both of the drivers' race strategies. So I think it was sensible that we got Piastri first in the pit, and then Lando afterwards. But Lando can count himself quite lucky with his sprint race win, because obviously
absolutely.
the race ended behind safety car. But listen, a 1-2 finish, ain't gonna complain. That's 15 points in the bag in the sprint race, and obviously more to come when we talk about the race in the next couple of minutes.
Absolutely.
And Hamilton as well, bro. At third place again. He won the first sprint race this season, and to get third place in the second sprint race of the season, that's something that Hamilton can take away now, so far
Listen,
for his Ferrari career.
luck played its part, but we'll take it regardless, nonetheless.
Yeah, for sure. Now, bro, Alex Albon initially finished fourth, But
He got a penalty.
unfortunately, he also got himself a 5 second time penalty because he failed to stay above the minimum lap time on the safety car. That's fucking
That's bullshit, bro.
that's
Come
bullshit in
on.
my opinion. So,
That is so
and
rubbish.
not just him.
It's so rubbish, man.
It's not just him, bro. Because Verstappen got a 10-second time penalty for an unsafe release. Berman also got a 5 second time penalty for an unsafe release as well. Can't understand why the 5 seconds are for Verstappen at 10 seconds, but anyways. And Lawson also got a 5 second time penalty for causing a collision, obviously, between Sainz and the Alonso crashes as well. So, quite understandable. Yeah, bro, as you said, pretty unlikely drivers who got themselves into the top eight with the sprint race. We got Lance Stroll in fifth, Yuki Tsunoda in sixth, Kimi Antonelli in seventh after his pole
Very
position.
unfortunate
Pretty
for Kimi.
very unfortunate for him to get himself into seventh place. He actually apologized to the team
He shouldn't have to.
for his, which he shouldn't have to because
He shouldn't have to, bro.
that was not his mistakes. Unfortunately, that's not his mistakes. And obviously, he since he's only 18 years of age, he will
A
learn
lot, a lot, a
learn
lot.
a lot more as
A
things
lot
go along.
more.
So hopefully this would be a learning curve for him. And Pierre Gasly getting the final point. So decent results for those drivers, but obviously luck did play a bit for because of Albon and Verstappen's penalties. But overall, both of us can't really complain that much. But obviously you are frustrated because of Leclerc colliding just before the
Listen,
race.
at least it was a sprint. At least it was a. I was pretty frustrated with how it happened because they should send them out if they were gonna send them out at least on wets and not inters. But at least it was a sprint, so I wasn't that too much of a concern for me.
At
But
least.
at least it wasn't that concerning to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, bro. Let's get into qualifying. We're gonna get into these very quickly because those going out of Q1. Not much of a surprise as well. Oliver Berman again dead last, just as he did in the sprint qualifying again. Not his weekend, unfortunately. Very unfortunate for the Haas. The two Aston Martins, bro. This is quite
What a
shocking. Lance
fraud!
Stroll in 19th and Fernando Alonso in 17th after his
After
P10. Disappointing, bro. Yeah, back to square one for him. 18th.
pace now was really showing in qualifying for the race rather than the sprint quali. Maybe that's
Yeah,
where the real pace is shown. That could maybe be
yeah,
the case, but it is disappointing nonetheless. From that much of a high, maybe things could start looking up and then back to reality.
yeah, for sure. And bro, it's looking. Listen, I don't want to obviously jump into conclusions straight away, but is he past his sell by date now in the sport? Considering that he is on delivering this season, I'm not sure. But he might have like a one last dance maybe,
Is
but
it is it due to the fact that it's him or is it the car?
I think it's both, bro. I think
Could be.
more. I think more the car rather than
I don't,
him
I don't,
per
I don't
se.
think
But
I think it is more the car than him. I don't think it's him. I don't think
no,
it's him. I think it's the car. I
yeah,
don't think it's the car.
I think I
I
agree
think
on that.
if you give him a good car, I think he'll school everyone.
Yeah,
That's my take on it.
I agree
I
actually.
think he'd school everyone.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
I
him. I
agree
think it's the
actually.
car. I mean, he ain't getting any younger, but
The car is just not delivering at the moment. But I
no,
think they've been
absolutely.
the biggest. I think outside Ferrari, obviously, I think they've been the biggest. I think they've been the most disappointing team of the season so far. I think that's
Absolutely.
with Aston Martin, considering that they got Adrian Newey and obviously Fernando Alonso as well in the team. They've
Things are
undelivered, massively undelivered.
things are really quite working now for them.
No, they haven't. Hulkenberg in 16th again, a setback from his 11th place in the sprint qualifying, and in 16th in qualifying again. The Sauber, you can't really expect miracles with that car. It's in its transitional season at the moment, so not expecting
But
big things with the
they're
Haas.
trying to make the most of it,
With
though.
the Sauber. Sorry, excuse me.
They're trying to make the most of it at least.
Yeah, for sure.
Such
Uh,
as we're gonna get into Q2, or if we're gonna talk about Gasly.
No, with Q2.
Hey,
Liam
with Bortoleto,
Lawson.
let's go. Let's start Liam Lawson in 15th. Sorry.
Yeah, Liam Lawson 15th and Jack Doohan in 14th. Improvements, slight improvements. I would add more like for both drivers. Impressive, bro. However, though, is Gabriel Bortoleto with the Sauber in 13th place.
I
At
was gonna
least not
mention
not.
that.
Yeah,
I was gonna mention that with Bortoleto, bro. Very impressive. It's like almost Hulkenberg and Bortoleto swap positions from the
yeah,
sprint
for
onto the
sure.
quali.
Yeah, for sure. On the other hand, Lewis Hamilton in 12th.
Okay,
Poor,
okay,
bro. Very
okay.
poor.
Listen, listen. Hold up now. Hold up. I was just telling you in the group chat, you, me, and Martina, that
Yeah.
that Ferrari is an absolute diva to drive. Looks like a diva to drive. You see the McLaren turning the steering so smoothly, so nice and tidy, and then you see and then you see the Ferrari that Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc have to drive, and they're just fighting with the steering like so. It's like me when I purchased my Logitech G, trying to
Yeah.
try to have some calibration on it. That's what it looked like, bro. And I told you straight up,
Oh my
that
days.
Ferrari is a total diva to drive. That Ferrari is atrocious. I wasn't surprised that Lewis Hamilton got knocked out. I was not surprised at all. I was not surprised. So,
And you're getting
because
out.
we know,
And you're getting out.
I know, coming into this weekend, again, no upgrades. I knew it. I know it. So, I'm not surprised.
Bro, you're getting again. You're getting out qualified by a Racing Bulls and the two Williams, bro. I mean, it's
We're gonna
it's
get into it.
embarrassing. It's
We're gonna get
embarrassing,
into it.
bro, for Ferrari. Um,
Absolutely.
Isaac Hajar in 11, just was talking about the Racing Bulls, bro. A little bit of a setback from his P9 in the sprint qualifying in 11th place. Yuki Tsunoda in 10th, much better from him, getting himself into Q3. Learned from his mistake in the sprint qualifying, he got himself into Q3, so a decent result for him. He's Red Bull second driver as well. Esteban Ocon in 9th place, mega effort in the Haas
Absolutely.
for Ocon. And Ocon, bro, he's proving some doubters wrong at the moment with the Haas.
Absolutely.
Hasn't
Absolutely.
been
Turned out to be quite
spectacular.
a turned out to be quite a good coup. A good
Yet,
signing.
listen, he hasn't blown everyone out of the water. Very
But
far from
it's
it.
better than
It's
everyone
working.
expected.
Yeah, much
Absolutely.
better than everyone expected, for
And even
sure.
he has a great engineer, Laura Muller, I believe, which is
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
only race
exactly.
engineer, only female race engineer there is. She's very nice. She is very informative, very helpful. God, how much I wish
Yeah.
we have someone like her in Ferrari, but and digress.
Leclerc, bro, 8th. Poor, poor, very poor, bro. 8th
I
place,
mean,
the Ferrari.
what do you want me to say? The same with
Yeah.
Hamilton, bro. The
We'll
same
just
with
move on.
Hamilton.
We'll move on. We'll move on.
Just move on. Just move on.
The two Williams, bro. Carlos Sainz in 7th and Alex Albin in no, sorry, Alex Albin in 7th and Carlos Sainz in 6th, bro. Wow, brilliant.
Very good. Very good, bro. Very
Very.
good. Listen, James Vowles has done magic for Williams ever since joining, along with Albon, and now adding the spice that is Carlos Sainz.
The
Improvement, bro.
consistency,
Along.
bro. I think this season they've been very consistent. They've obviously last season what was a letdown, was a complete letdown for the team. And this season, it's third time the charm for James Vowles and co.
Absolutely.
They've been very consistent with their performances, both in qualifying and the races. Yes, they've been a bit unlucky with some races, but I think the consistency is there to be seen, bro, with that team, and to get themselves now in with both cars into Q3,
Listen,
impressive
listen.
stuff.
This a thought just came to my mind. You remember when Carlos Sainz said last year that he was disappointed that he's leaving Ferrari because he believes that Ferrari might fight for the championship this year.
Yeah.
What do you think he's saying now, bro?
Mm.
You think he's saying that he dodged a bullet?
With how things are looking at the moment, bro, it looks like he's dodged a big bullet now. I think
He
he's
dodged
made
a
the right call.
huge bullet. Bro, he got the dead to right, slow motion, the Neo from the Matrix kind of slow motion.
He
Dodging the
listen.
bullets,
Let's
bro.
admit.
That's
Let's
what he got.
admit. Let's admit that he's being dealt with less pressure compared to Ferrari because he's at Williams. But at the moment, it's looking like he's dodged a bullet, bro, by joining Williams. But anyhow, the top five, a bit similar to the sprint qualifying. George Russell in fifth, same as he did in the sprint quali. Um, Oscar Piastri in fourth because he got out qualified again by Kimi Antonelli in third. So not quite Piastri's day when it comes to qualifying, because the race is a completely different story. So Piastri in fourth and Antonelli in third, Lando Norris in second, and once again, bro, Max Verstappen in pole position
Mega
by
lap
just
that.
a couple hundredths of a second with another mega
Mega,
lap, bro.
mega lap,
Again,
bro.
again, just like Suzuka, Red Bull without Max,
They're nothing.
they're nothing.
Listen,
Exactly.
listen. At the moment, this is how my top four is. This is how my top four is. McLaren in first, Mercedes second, Max Verstappen third, and Ferrari fourth. That's how they are. Not
Yeah.
Red Bull, bro. Max Verstappen alone is in third.
Bro, it's been Max Verstappen FC since 2022, let's be honest.
2022.
No, 2022. 2022. No. I actually disagree on 2021 because at least Perez was a was a big part
He was given a helping
for
hand. I mean,
Verstappen's win.
it was thanks to him he won his first world title.
No,
So
bro,
I do agree with that.
bro, getting back to Verstappen's pole, birth of his child, still a pole position, bro. I mean,
Absolutely.
that shows
Easy
how
does
brilliant
it.
he is.
Easy does it. Easy does it.
He's him. He's him, bro. He's him. Anything to add, bro, regarding that? So we
Nothing
get
to add, bro. We can get into the meet and greet of the race.
get into the race, bro. You want to give us your thoughts on the race, bro, with the start and that's just I talked about the sprint race.
Now, listen. Now, with the race start, yeah, I mean, it was a clean getaway from everyone until the first corner. Verstappen, with his usual antics, dirty driving, pushing Lando Norris off, and even there was about a kerfuffle with Oscar Piastri, I believe, and Antonelli at some point. I don't know if it was Antonelli or Russell.
Also at the back of the grid, bro, we've had a collision with Jack Doohan and Liam Lawson.
Yes, we had a collision with Jack Doohan and Liam Lawson, which I was going to get to, which forced Liam Lawson, I believe, to retire. Was it on Jack Doohan, I believe?
Jack Doohan retired first, not Liam
Yeah, Jack
Lawson.
Doohan. All right, understood. My apologies.
Yeah.
And it forced Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri to both lose positions. But they were immediately gained within a couple of laps with Oscar Piastri overtaking one of the merchants, which I believe it was Antonelli, and then
Yeah.
it was Lando Norris overtaking the Williams of Alex Albon first.
Yeah.
So they were already making ground, and by lap, I believe lap 8 was it? Piastri was all over Verstappen for first place. Till lap
Yeah.
8 till lap 13, he tried to do the overtake. He tried to maneuver from left to right, and he finally got Piastri in the corner, in the first corner of the racetrack.
Yeah.
Piastri, when I saw that move, bro, Piastri made on Verstappen,
What a
I
move,
was
bro.
like, yo, Lando Norris could never. Lando Norris could never do that.
Yeah.
Because what did Piastri do right there? Piastri knew what he was going to do, and then he just went on the outside here. He knew Verstappen was going to try and outbrake him. So, and he expected that Verstappen was just going to go wide already, and then he would just go right on the outside. Easy, bro. It took
Yeah.
Norris. Norris then was right up Verstappen. And then Norris overtook Verstappen. Verstappen overtook him again, and then it had to take Norris to the second DRS for him to overtake Verstappen again. But it was
Mhm.
already too little too late because Piastri has already sailed off into the lead. Already sailed off.
And Lando Norris
So,
soon after as
but
well. And Lando Norris and his teammates soon after, bro. And his teammates soon after.
yeah, absolutely. But other than that, it was the first from the first lap till the about lap 14, lap 15, which was interesting. Maybe lap 20 the most, because other than that,
Then it became quite kind of procession. It became, yeah.
there was things happening here and there. We're gonna get to the Ferraris in a minute. We had a virtual safety car, with Oliver Behrman having an engine blowout of sorts. Very unfortunate with the
He's
teammate
had a
going
poor
down.
weekend. Ollie Behrman it's been a weekend to forget for Ollie Behrman, bro.
Absolutely,
Back to back
absolutely,
dead last in the sprint qualifying, and a DNF in the race, which is very very unfortunate. Obviously, he will be learning as
absolutely,
he will have better weekends to come. Poor weekend for him though, bro. And the same with Jack Doohan.
absolutely. Same with Jack Doohan. A VSC coming out for that. Of course, VSC or a safety car means a quick and easy pit stop. After that, it was another virtual safety car with Gabriel Bortoletto.
Yeah, we've had a couple of virtual safety cars actually during the
Yeah,
race. That
a
didn't
couple of
compromise the McLarens.
absolutely. And with Gabriel Bortoletto, and then other than that,
Not much happened after
not
that.
much happened. Piastri just sailed for the win without any problems whatsoever. And again, that is the third. What is that? The third win in a row
Three-peat.
for
That's
Piastri.
that's that's third in a row. Three-peat.
Third in a
It's a
row for
three-peat.
Piastri.
And
Damn.
bro, and it's not just Piastri, bro. We won the race over 35 seconds. I mean, it's over 35 seconds, which was George Russell with a
Bro,
1-2 finish.
at one point, the McLarens were lapping a second quicker than the rest of the grid.
Yeah. No,
That is
I mean, we're just doing such an unbelievable job, bro. I mean, it's such a great time to be a McLaren fan at this moment in time, bro, because we're the fastest car in the grid. We have two brilliant drivers, but at the moment, bro, Oscar Piastri is making Lando Norris to look like a fool, quite literally, bro, because that's his third win in a row, and it's another super performance from him, bro. I mean, at this rate, this was supposed to be Lando's year, but at the moment
Listen, it still
it's
could be.
Piastri.
It still
It
could
still
be.
could be, but at the moment, bro, Piastri is just looking the superior driver without any debates. Without any
Piastri got the
debates.
sauce, bro. He got the sauce. Oh, Piastri got the sauce. At the moment,
No,
Piastri
no.
is the one that got the sauce. So mature, so calm, so fearless, yet calm demeanor, bro, with Piastri.
Yeah,
So mature for his age. He has everything that is world champion material, Piastri.
yeah, absolutely. And listen, I'm not gonna repeat the same words with Oscar Piastri because the same words are going to apply for Oscar Piastri. The maturity, the composure, the demeanor, as you said before, the calmness. Again, he has the characteristics of a Formula One world champion. And
He has it.
if he continues at this rate, he might grab the title very, very early on in the season, bro. With the constructors, it's looking like McLaren is going to take it. I mean, because the gap between us and second is just only going to get bigger as we go. Is only going to get larger as we go along throughout the season. No complaints with the team, bro. And again, the drivers are making the result are delivering with the results, but the backroom stuff and the appointments that we've made, bro, over the last couple of years, it can't go unnoticed, bro. It cannot go unnoticed because
Absolutely.
those
Absolutely.
backroom appointments have been key to our success throughout this time at the moment. Um,
Absolutely.
that for me, bro, I think that's the most dominant we've been in quite some time, bro. I think I
And
can't
you've
really
been
remember the
dominant.
last time we've. I think we've. I think I can't remember the last time we've been this dominant, bro. With a what? With a
And you've been dominant. And you've been having dominant
no.
performances as of
We
late.
have been no, but
You've
I
been
think I
having
think this
dominant, so
this
to
is
say that
this is the cherry on the top, bro. This is the cherry on the top, bro. Easily.
that was a Bad Boys Miami takeover in full. I was
No.
so impressed. I was so impressed. I could say the same. I can't say the same, but we're gonna get into Ferrari in a few. We're gonna get into them.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But to see that by Piastri, like bro, he just sailed off after he took out Verstappen. He just
Untroubled, bro.
sailed off.
Bro, we could literally have made another pit stop, and we would still be in first and second. I
Absolutely.
I can assure you that right away.
No,
But
of course, because you lose what, 18 to 20 seconds, and George Russell finished 37 seconds behind second place, so
he
it was
would be
easily doable.
Piastri would have been would have still stayed would have still stayed to the sea, bro, quite literally. So very happy, very very happy.
I can assure you, if the fast, if a point for the fastest lap still exists,
No, it
Piastri will
doesn't.
go for a pit stop on the softs. No, I
No,
know,
no,
but if it still
yeah,
exists,
it's
if a
complete
point for a pit
domination.
stop, if a point
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
fastest lap still exists, Piastri
yeah,
will
yeah,
go
yeah.
for it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, bro, complete domination over the moon. Not just me, but every single McLaren fan around the world. And it's so good to be at the top of the pile, bro, at this moment in time. He's easily the best car on the grid. And we look like we have like the best two drivers I wouldn't say best two drivers on the grid, but we're like the top of the class at the moment. So very, very happy with the performances, bro. Also, George Russell could also be happy with his performance, bro, with a P3. Considering that he got back-to-back fifth place finishes in both the qualifying and the sprint quali, a third place is a good result for him.
Absolutely, absolutely. Listen, another podium for Georgie boy, so that's good.
Yeah, Verstappen in fourth, not his best race of the season, not his best race in general, far from his best. A bit underwhelming for him to get fourth place, considering he got pole position in
At,
qualifying.
at one point, it was the two McLarens against Verstappen. There's
Yeah,
only so much you could do. And
but
at
that
one
only
point,
lasted 13 laps.
after Norris overtook him, right before Verstappen overtook him again, he was going to
Yeah,
crash into. He was going to kill Lando Norris.
yeah,
That
absolutely.
was so close.
Bro, Alex Albon in fifth place
Listen,
with the
Williams,
Williams,
Williams.
impressive.
If they keep up this rate, a podium is within touching distance for
Yeah,
Williams.
absolutely. They are, bro. For me, I think they are the best middle from the middle teams. They are the
Yeah,
best
they're
of
the
the
best.
grid.
Yeah, yeah, they're the best in the midfield for
They are
sure.
the best of the grid for
Absolutely.
sure, bro.
And they've been showing that. They've been showing that they're the best
No,
in the grid.
listen, a podium, no, bro. I think a podium is a possibility. At least for Alex Albon for sure. I think even Carlos Sainz
Williams
has
in
a
general,
shot
just
at that.
Williams in general.
And even Sainz, bro, he finished in ninth place, but that's a double points finish for Williams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which
Again,
compared to their rivals, bro, they scored not even a single point. That's an excellent result for Williams. To
absolutely.
get two drivers in double podiums. Kimi Antonelli in sixth. Again, same of my thoughts with the sprint qualifying. He will learn from this for sure. I think he was unfortunate in both the sprint race and the race in general.
Overall, overall, I think Antonelli had a pretty solid weekend, though.
I think obviously his sprint pole is going to be his highlight for sure.
Absolutely, should be his highlight.
But again, better things to come for Kimi Antonelli, so I'm not going to be not going to get into that. Before getting to the Ferraris, bro, Carlos Sainz, as I said, in ninth place, and Yuki Tsunoda getting that final point in 10th with the Red Bull, at least a solitary point for Yuki. Ferrari, bro, 7th and 8th. You boys had an eventful race for all the wrong reasons, though.
Listen, man, listen. At the start, it was all right. What was happening? It was right after the second VSC. It was where the drama was happening, where the drama kicked off with both Lewis Hamilton and his race engineer Adami. I don't know his first
No.
name, and I don't even want to know his first name because I am convinced, yeah, I am totally convinced, bro, that even if we have the McLaren car, we still won't win the title. We're having a team like that. And to anyone that has heard the team radios, yeah, blaming Lewis Hamilton for the way he talked should be ashamed. Because in no way that's
No,
Hamilton's fault.
no. That's the team's fault. 100% the team's fault, bro.
Hamilton was stating how it was. He said it was not fair. Let him go. Even Charles Leclerc stated himself that that was stupid. It was only damaging, and you could tell that Ferrari struggles in the dirty air. Absolutely struggles.
Yeah,
And it damaged, it killed off the tires, Hamilton's tires. They
yeah.
wanted to go after Antonelli, but the Ferrari engineers were having none of it. They were happy with their position. They didn't want to go for it.
And
Why?
and Hamilton was pissed as fuck, bro. He was
Absolutely.
so pissed.
And absolutely. And even I seen an article where he talked to Vetvasseur and he told Vetvasseur he said it in the nicest way possible. I don't want to know when he's very angry.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. Have a tea break while you're at it, bro. That was crazy.
No,
Listen,
I think the even better one was the Carlos Sainz one, bro. That for me, that for
yeah, Adami was like, science 1.4, we're about 1.4 behind. Yeah, well, you want me to let him pass as well?
no, but firstly, bro, firstly to Hamilton, if he's listening to this, welcome to Ferrari. That's number one, and
Yep.
number two, how fucking boring Adami is, bro. Like, show some enthusiasm
No,
in the
no,
messages, bro.
no. I'm tired of Adami. Adami has been like this since 2022 with Carlos Sainz. No enthusiasm, no energy. Even Brian Butzi. I mean, maybe Brian Butzi shows a bit. Go ahead, keep laughing, you.
No,
Brian
no,
Butzi
because
shows a bit with Charles Leclerc, maybe a bit, but Adami is the worst in the business, bro. Legit the worst. Science 1.4 behind. How's the
behind
race?
is
We are checking.
1.5
Like,
seconds.
bro, no enthusiasm. It's like he has a gun to his head or something. What is he doing?
He's like being held
No,
hostage, bro.
No, it's like he has a gun to his head or something. No, Adami's legit the worst in the business. That's what you get. Listen, I know that Ferrari is an Italian team. They take it with they they're very prideful, but it's actually themselves that are shooting themselves in the foot. The Italians themselves, with all due respect,
Yeah,
because when Jean Todt was there was when Schumacher was winning and dominating, there was no Italian with him. You had
no
Jean Todt who was
Italians, no
French.
Italians, no
You had
Italians.
you had Jean Todt who was French. You had Ross Brawn who was British. Now it's all about Italians. All Italians. Fred
Yeah,
Vasseur is French. All right, fair enough. But the race engineers Italian. They gotta go. They got to go,
and
bro.
bro, and yeah, I actually agree, bro. Because the thing is, you're just repeating the same mistakes season after season after season. If it's not the strategies, it's the tires. If it's not the tires, it's the car. If it's not the car, it's the drivers. It's like
It's a cycle. It's a
it's
cycle.
a cycle that's just
It
that
repeats
keeps on
on.
repeating itself over and over and over and over and over again. And I agree, bro, that heads have to roll in the in the team strategies, because as much as Hamilton's team radio messages were hilarious, he was right,
It
bro.
was
He was
right.
absolutely
He
right.
was absolutely
Because
right.
he absolutely killed off the team, absolutely killed off Hamilton's momentum throughout the race, because then the tires got dried off, and the tires were starting to show its wears, to show their wears. Excuse me, my English just isn't the best for this today's episode. But anyhow,
Me
and then
neither.
and
Mine
then
neither.
and Carlos, and then bro, Carlos Sainz, who Hamilton replaced, was catching up on him.
Absolutely.
So
And then, and just in the last lap, Carlos Sainz was doing a hilarious dive bomb in the last corner
they
when Lewis
collided.
Hamilton.
They made contact, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Bro.
they made
They
contact.
made
I don't know.
contact.
I saw it as Carlos Sainz, like he was still salty that Lewis Hamilton took his spot. That's how I saw it. If I'm honest with you, that's
So
how I
no,
saw it.
absolutely. But bro, this has been so far at least.
Listen, if that
This has been a major setback for Ferrari this season, with
if
with how things are going at the moment.
it's one of the worst because the worst is still the disqualification in China.
No,
That's still the
no,
worst.
nothing's gonna top that, bro.
That's the worst. This is the second worst easily. And if that team radio, I don't want no one to lose their job, but listen, Adami and Botsi have been doing mistakes.
They have to go, bro.
I don't give a damn if it's an Italian team. The Italians have to go. They have to go. They don't know a damn thing about the sport. I'm sorry. Mattia Benotto left. They should have went with him.
No, absolutely.
And they don't even give, bro. Adami is telling Lewis Hamilton how to drive, when to use the
No,
overtake. You telling a seven-time world champion this? Are you right in the head?
possibly the greatest of all time at this point as well.
What is he doing, bro? Come on. I hate Adami. Let me see. Let me see where he's from.
No,
Adami. Let me check
no,
Adami.
no, no, no. No, bro. Actually, absolutely. Just to wrap up on this
There he
point
is.
very quickly.
Look at this marshmallow-looking head, bro. Ricardo Adami, Italian engineer. Brian Bozzi. Who is he? Let me guess. Is he Italian? Italian Danish. Oh wow.
Italian name.
Something's rotten in Denmark. I wonder why.
No, actually, bro. Just to wrap up on Ferrari very quickly, because we're approaching our time limit for this episode. Um, Heads have to roll, bro. Heads have
Abs-
to roll 100%
All
with
I'm
their
gonna say is
strategies.
this: we could have the McLaren car. We could
Yeah.
legit have the McLaren car, but
Mhm.
with a team like that, we're not gonna win. There's no way we're gonna win.
You're never gonna progress, bro,
No,
unless you make some serious. It's all with the leaders, bro, because the leaders, Belotto understandably needs to be replaced. I believe Fred Vasseur is the right man, but
yeah, I believe
replace
him. I
the
believe him.
changes have to be in the strategies, bro, because nowhere near good enough, bro.
But for this,
How their team is
but
going at the moment is nowhere near good enough.
in order for them to change, in order for them to change in the strategies, they need to change the race engineers. It's the
I
race
agree,
engineers.
absolutely.
It's the race engineers that need to change. Fuck Brian Botzi. Fuck Ricardo Adami. Fuck them, bro. Fuck them. Honestly, fuck them lot.
All out attack,
Fuck them.
all
I
out
don't
attack,
care.
quite
I hate
literally,
them.
all out
I've
attack,
been
quite
patient.
literally.
I've tried my best. I've tried my
Now you
best.
can't.
I have to give the benefit of the doubt, but I fully support Lewis Hamilton. And if you don't support Lewis Hamilton after this, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
No.
You need to get yourself checked because he's fully, completely right.
You might as well give losers of the day to Ferrari, bro, for this weekend.
Absolutely, they're the losers of the day,
For me,
easy.
as well. For me as well. I mean, you could go with Liam Lawson or Jack
Again,
Doohan, but Ferrari, bro,
again.
it's another poor weekend for them. It's
Listen,
another
I'm gonna end.
unacceptable
I'm,
weekend as
I'm
well
gonna
for
end
them.
it with this. I'm gonna end it with this, yeah, because
Yeah,
I forgot. We came into this weekend with no upgrades. Next race weekend, Imola, Emilia Romagna.
home
The
soil
start,
apparently, one of the home soils.
home soil, and the start of the European portion of the season. Finally, there should be upgrades coming.
Should a big should.
Should, big key word, should. Pardon me, bro. They're giving me acid reflux even just speaking about them.
Jesus, man.
If the upgrades, these supposed upgrades, don't make a difference, I'm saying it right now. 6th of May 2020. I'm calling it now.
We'll wait and see with that.
We'll be lucky if we get second.
We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see with that, bro.
I'm calling it right now
No,
because the China
it's not looking like
disqualification was
you're
already a
getting second at
major,
the
major
moment.
blow. No, the China disqualification was a major, major blow. If we're not gonna get upgrades, I'm calling it now. Season's over. If we don't get a
It's, it's,
good
it's,
result,
I think more like a blow, bro. It's an embarrassment, more like a blow.
no.
That was completely embarrassing for the team.
It was two different situations.
Yeah, I agree.
One
Actually.
of them was excessive plank wear, I believe, and the other one I can't
Yeah,
forget.
but
So
anyhow,
I'm calling it now. 6th of May. If we don't score significant points in Imola after these supposed upgrades would make, season's done. I'm calling it now.
listen again, long season, but at the moment things are just not looking likely at all, bro. With your
I'm
team,
calling it
it's
now.
just one howler after another, bro. Literally one howler after another with your team. On the other hand, bro, drive of the day. Now, I was actually gonna give it to Williams, but for me, bro, again, I have to give it to Oscar Piastri, bro. Once again,
He
it's
just
just,
sailed
just
off, dude.
he's just sailed off, bro. Another completely dominant performance from him.
Bro,
Deserved.
it was like me playing Gran Turismo 3 the other day. Just sailed off easy.
Dominant, absolutely dominative performance, bro. Bro, dick of the day has to be Adami.
Well, Adami easy. Adami
Adami,
easy.
Adami,
Fuck him,
bro.
bro. Fuck them. Fuck him. Fuck Adami.
How dare, bro? How the hell? You have to be shameless, bro, to
Listen.
control. Hang on a minute, bro. You have to be shameless, bro. You have to be like the biggest shameless guy on earth to give instructions to a seven-time world champion on what he has to do during the race, bro.
Bro, listen.
Fucking embarrassing.
Does he have an Instagram or something? No, he doesn't have an Instagram.
No.
I was gonna offend him in Maltese. Shame.
No, quite literally. Bro, clown of the day. We actually forgot to mention this because in the pre-race, we had the drivers driving Lego cars, bro. Quite
That was
literally.
so fun, bro.
That
That
was
was
so
so
fun
fun.
for me. That has to be the clown of the day moment for me because the drivers had a lot of fun driving those cars, and that was like a first in the entire sport. Hamilton as well, bro.
With the
That's like
life-size
the
Lego builds.
that's like the most fun he had in his entire career, bro. Quite literally.
A pre-race.
In a pre-race, bro. It was quite fitting as well because
It was. It was.
the drivers were having a lot of fun with the Lego cars,
And I
and
tell
it
you
was
what, shout to
and it,
Lego.
yes, big shout out to them, bro, because it was
Because
actually
apparently, because I seen
yeah.
it took them over 22,000 hours to build those.
That was actually that was very impressive, bro. With the way
Wow.
they've staged the Lego shaped cars, it was very impressive. Just goes to show what can you do with just Lego bricks,
Very,
quite
very
literally.
beautiful.
So very impressive, bro. So
Absolutely.
let's
Absolutely. I
wrap up
can
on
tell.
that,
I can
bro.
tell.
Yeah, bro. Let's wrap up on this weekend with our top 10, looking something like this. The two McLaren drivers remain on top with Oscar Piastri at 131 points and Lando Norris with 115 points. Max Verstappen in third with 99 points, followed by George Russell in fourth with just a couple of points behind in 93 points. Charles Leclerc in fifth with 53 points. Kimi Antonelli in sixth with 48 points. Lewis Hamilton in seventh with 41 points. Alex Albon in eighth with 30 points. And Esteban Ocon and Lance Stroll remain in ninth and 10th with 14 points respectively. In the constructors, bro, McLaren already more than 100 points ahead from Mercedes with
104.
246 points and 141 points respectively. Red Bull in third with 105 points. Ferrari remain in fourth with 94 points.
Whoa.
Williams, sorry.
But I've just noticed Red Bull third, Ferrari fourth. Max Verstappen by himself is dominating both Ferraris.
Carrying the team, bro, quite literally. Williams with that double points finish keep themselves in fifth place with 37 points. Haas in sixth with 20 points. Aston Martin seventh with 14 points. Racing Bulls in eighth with 8 points. Alpine in ninth with 7 points, and Sauber in sixth with just in 10th place, bottom of the grid, with 6 points respectively. Let us end. That is the end of this episode, guys. Thank you so much for listening. It means the world to
Much
us.
love,
Make
man. Much
sure
love.
to follow us on our socials, especially if this is your first time listening to this podcast: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. Our next episode is in 2 weeks' time, where we'll be heading to Imola, as we said as we said a couple of minutes ago, guys. It's the start of the European section of the season already.
Thank
No, bro,
God,
quite literally.
finally. Finally.
Already, bro, quite literally, we're already in the European section of the season. Just shows how time is absolutely flying at the moment, like
Bro,
Max
bro,
Verstappen, quite
bro,
literally.
bro. 1 minute it was March, now it's May. What
Jeez.
1 minute ago was March, now it's May already.
Looking forward to Imola, bro. It's an iconic track, one of my favorites of the
Legendary.
calendar.
Legendary.
Let's hope we have a superb race in 2 weeks' time.
Pray
Let's
for
try
Ferrari. Pray
pray
for
for
Ferrari.
you have to, bro.
Pray for
Your team
Ferrari.
needs a lot of prayers. Uh,
Prayers up.
All right, guys, that is it for us. I hope you have a great rest of the week. And with that, we're gonna sign off, and we'll see you for the next one. Much
Take care,
love and
guys.
peace out.
Good night.
Peace
Yeet.
out.